everyone, welcome to Thoughts of Treasures. My name's Connie and this is my craft room. I want to welcome you in. If you are new, please be sure to subscribe or follow so that you are notified when I upload a new video. I upload about 4 each week, so if this is something that you're interested in, you want to know more or see more, please make sure you subscribe or follow. I also have a channel, Facebook channel and Telegram, which notifies you when I upload a video and when I go live. So if you're interested in that, you can just message channel or Telegram and I can get that information to you. So today we are going to be working on this cutie. This is a rice paper printable. Rice paper, if you've never worked with, is really easy, and I think it's easier than napkins, but napkins are, you know, one size. This you can make different sizes that you want. So rice paper is a way to go. I love it. We're going to be making what I call a happy sign. I hate to say it because it's the end of June, I still have an Easter sign hanging up on my door, which, not my outside door, my inside door that I always hang signs on, and I just haven't had a chance to change it. So this is going to go up. I love turtles. Turtles are our theme here on Thoughts of Treasures. So as you can tell, so he is going to represent Thoughts of Treasures, and look, he's just sunflowers. You gotta love him. So we're going to be using this, and I'm just going to do what I call happy signs, or just kind of like, you know, it's just a sign that makes me happy. So I have 2 boards. One is going to be my backer board, one is going to be my front board, and that's what kind of offsets it. I'm trying to think, which do I want to do first. Let's do the antique wax one first. So I'm going to keep this simpler, and I am going to put a glove on for this, I think. Oh Lord, I think. Wait a minute. First time using these. That's kind of weird. Because I'm going to be using antique wax, and you know, if you're nice and neat about it, it can be okay. But I'm going to be quick and fast about this. We're just going to make it quick and fast. So I'm going to put this on with a baby wipe. Just take a simple baby wipe. I'm going to do the back side first. I want it to be fairly thick, or dark. So I'm going to put a good generous amount on. And then the more you wipe off, the more lighter it will become. And you can always go back and darken it up if you want it to be darker. I mean, I'm not looking for like dark brown, but I don't want it to be very faint. So we're just going to rub this on. Very simple. If you have never used antique wax, you are missing out. If you like that wood stained kind of look without the smell, this is definitely the way to go. Now, do you get a variety of stain looks? No, you're pretty much stuck with just the one, but like I said, you can make it lighter or you can make it darker. And I'm going to do the front, the back, and the sides, just because I want it all to be finished. Oh, itchy nose. I'll do the sides first. Should have put a glove on this side too. You will know that when you work with this stuff, it kind of will stain your hands. I mean, it eventually comes off, but you know, like any craft, it's not crafting unless you're actually getting dirty. I'm going to end up using like this back down. And then I really should have put 2 gloves on. It's okay. Nothing like getting a little bit dirty. Alright, let's flip this over. We're going to do the front, can push it around. It does take a little bit of muscle powers. But it's a super easy way to give that wood stained look to any board. I use this a lot with staining. I use it a lot with making things look a little more rusticy and antique. Kind of give it that dirty look to it, but this I'm just kind of keeping just straight wood. My door that I'm going to be hanging it on is kind of like a cream color, so I think this is going to look nice next to it. I'm kind of, like I said, it's June, end of June, almost July, and well, when this is up, it'll probably be July 1st. But, yeah, I still have an Easter sign up there. But it's so springy and so pretty that it does say Happy Easter on it, though. So, I'm not in any way or shape saying that I am a little bit late to the game. I just haven't had a chance to make another sign, and I really like that one. It's just pretty. So who says you can't have Easter up year round? Is it a law? Just let me know. All right, let me pull that off. We're gonna give this a quick dry. And then I'm going to set it to the side while I do the front. It doesn't take long for this to dry. If you ever trying to apply vinyl to this, like from the Cricut or Silhouette, it is a lot harder. So you want to make sure, because if this is like an antique wax, so it's got a film, a silkiness. I don't know what the words you want to use. So I'm just going to sit to the side and let this dry on its own, but just giving it a little bit, and then we'll wipe the table up. So let's put that over here for now, and I'll wipe this up because I don't want to get this wax over everything. I do have a silicone mat that is on my table. It is in my Amazon store. If you're interested in looking at my Amazon store or using my link for anything, you can go to bossoftreasures.com and grab it off my link tree. Prime is coming up soon, so if you don't know how the the Amazon store works, you don't necessarily have to purchase what's in my store. However, I do put in things that I use and recommend. So, but you can just use my link, get to Amazon, and then when you check out, you sign in as yourself. Simple as that. All right, this little guy, we're going to do the iron-on method, but as I always state, and I like to recommend, that I never Mod Podge to the surface here, the wood surface. Every time I do, it never adheres, but also it kind of leaves this a little bit dull. I want to give this a nice white background, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use, oh man, did I grab the one that's closed? I sure did. I sure did. Hold please. Let me grab the other one. Alright. I put the paints in a new place and, well, they're just there. Alright, so I'm going to do the sides first on this. I'm not going to worry about the back on this. If I get paint on it, it's okay. But I'm going to get the sides done because you will see the sides. And we're going to do the front. And I'll probably give it 2 coats. Depending on. But like I said, this is just mainly so that my rice paper image pops. And that there's a barrier between the wood and the Mod Podge. Every time I Mod Podge onto, now I just use regular Mod Podge. I have not tried any other kind of decoupage medium. So that could be the difference. Maybe if you use something that was a little stronger and thicker, that it would not tend to come up off of your wood if you just Mod Podged onto the wood. So I just tend to stick with the more convenient stuff that I can get, and Mod Podge just seems to. Now I did say that once I use up all the Mod Podge, I was gifted some, so I still have plenty left. But once I get rid of that, I'll probably try using the, I guess what you call the faux Podge. It's basically Elmer's glue and water mixture, and we're gonna just make it ourselves. But like I said, I still have a whole bunch in there to use up, so it might take me a while. I was gifted some, probably, gosh, I would say over a year ago. There's quite a few bottles too. So we have enough for a while. So I'm just gonna paint this up. I haven't had the Mod Podge go bad on me, so I can't say that that's an issue. Excuse my eye. My eye is dripping. And I'm going to dry this, and we're going to give it one more coat. Just dry it up. But my signs usually, on these signs, I put some greenery, which here we're going to be using our famous little boxwood, and I make a bow for it, and put a woody bead hanger on there. Just, to me, it's like making a wreath. It's the same thing, just a little bit different, or I'll add something different, I'll do a different bow. I enjoy sign making. That is my thing. It's what makes me happy. So I used to do lots and lots of signs. I still do, but I tend to do a lot of different wood projects now, and you know, sometimes we just got to go back to our roots. It's been a while since I changed my sign up on my door, so you know, we have to get that going. I thought this was a perfect opportunity, and if you're going to be watching, I will, for the entire month of July, we will be doing Christmas in July. So I'll be doing all Christmas projects. Some you may have seen in the past, because all my live sales, I usually do at least one Christmas item. Just so you know, from January to now, we've done one Christmas item, whether it be an ornament or something in the wood kits. I will be doing some of those projects, plus some new projects, plus some ones you may have not seen yet. So just stay tuned. It's going to be all through. There'll be anything from signs to ornaments to, I don't know. I just don't know what's up my sleeve yet. But if you're into Christmas, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button so you stay tuned for all of the good stuff. Alright, let me get this off the fingers first. Now I will tell you, with the silicone mat, the only thing that is really hard to come up is chalk paint. So if you can get it up while it's wet, you're better off before it dries. Because it will come off, it's just you have to use a lot of muscle power. So now I do want to make sure that this is completely dry. We are using the iron-on method. That is the easiest. If you are not a decoupager, if you don't like fighting with the wrinkles, if you don't like all of the above, the iron-on method is definitely the method to use. It is the easiest and the fastest way. I'm not cutting this out at all. I'm just going to be laying it down on this and maybe sanding it off. If I find my sander, I thought about that now. Just making sure it's completely dry before we add the Mod Podge on top. But if you wanted to add some color around this, you could very easily, you know, use your water pen or a paintbrush with water and just kind of go around it as close as you wanted to. Apply it down, and then you can put some spark of color around it, or, you know, anything of that sort. But we are not going to be doing that today. What we are going to be doing is just simply using our Mod Podge. And this is just Mod Podge. This is in a condiment bottle. I was trying to think of what it was called. I think it's easier. I have tried those Philo bottles. I was gifted those too, and let me just tell you, I don't know how to use them. I'm really convinced that the one that I had was broken, but I don't know. It just never worked. I think this is much easier. It's like either a ton came out or none came out. And I was like pushing, little pushing. I don't know. Everybody told me something different, and then I just said, forget it. We're not even trying it. The condiment bottle from the Dollar Tree, you get 2, and this works perfect. Comes out. It doesn't take long for it to come out. You have control of how much comes out. And sometimes I put too much, but that's okay. With the iron-on method, it does not matter how much you put. Just keep moving it around. You don't have to get it even completely even. So, you know, if you leave this wet, you want to apply minimal. But with the iron-on method, just slap that stuff on. It's okay. If you feel that there's way too much, which I don't think is ever possible, the only thing that's going to be a problem is when you go to dry, you want to make sure it's all dry. So if you do have lots of lumps and bumps, that will take longer to dry. So let me just clean this off so nothing gets clogged. I don't know what I got on the side here, if there's paint on it or it comes off. I don't know what it is, but it came off. That's okay, good. And then we're going to go back to our dryer, and we're going to get this dry completely. Now, I just use these little, this came from the Dollar Tree, it's a little silicone rubber thing. You can use a foam brush, you can use a paintbrush, you can use whatever you want to spread this around. But, yeah, I just find that the little silicone works easy. And it wipes off nice and easy, and you can keep it clean. So I'm just going to get this completely dry. And it really, at this point, it doesn't matter if you use gloss, matte. I mean, you don't want to use like the sparkly one, or they waste the money on the, what do they call it? Dishwasher safe. You don't need that. Just gloss or matte, it's fine. You're not even going to see under here, so it's not going to matter. I don't ever usually top coat. I've never had a problem with my signs. They don't go outdoors. Most of the ones I make like this, if they go outdoors, it's hung under a covered porch. So if you do hang something like this outside, definitely you want to finish it with a top coat. I would also suggest doing your bottom board with like a polyacrylic. It's a little wet over here. I do have to get a piece of parchment. Oh, ouch! Piece of parchment paper. Uh-oh. parchment paper's missing. Don't fear, there's more. I'm telling you, you move the chair 1 minute and then it doesn't move the next. Alright, so I'm just going to pull this out first. This is just regular parchment paper from the Dollar Tree. If you have butcher paper, that'll work. If you have a Teflon sheet, that will work. If you have pillowcase, I mean anything just to keep a barrier between your rice paper and the heat. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to line this up on here to where I want it. And this is why I kind of like this dry method, because you can get it where you want it and work from there. I think I like that. So yeah, if you're interested in checking out my live sales, they are every other Sunday, and if you go to thoughtsofTreasures.com or my Thoughts of Treasures Facebook page, I will have a schedule of when they actually will be taking place. Just give me some time, they'll be there, but by the time you see this, you'll probably see it. So I'm just going to go back and forth. This is reactivating what you dried, the Mod Podge that you dried, and I'm just going to get it on all the corners. Now I will go back once everything's sanded just to make sure before I unplug my iron. Let me get the little stander. So now we got our little image on. He's on there, and it's like nice and flat. Now I'm just going to go over here. Hold your ears if you don't like this part, but when you see, you want to go, let me give it in a picture. Just go down in one direction. Don't go up and down. And the rice paper is so thin that it just comes right on off. Kind of like a napkin. The only thing I find a little bit more tricky is when you use cardstock. That's all of it off. Make sure I get all the fibers off. Now I'm just going to give this one last. He's so cute. Make sure I get all the edges. And it's kind of like a little overdo it kind of thing, but not really. Just give it one last. I like to make sure that all of the edges are secure, give it one last roll about, and then I want to unplug this, and then we're going to set it over here so it can cool down. And there he is. Isn't that adorable? I think it's so stinking cute. Alright, so here is my, trying to see which one I want to do the front. See how it pops on this? I just love it. It's going to be really pretty. So before I glue anything on the front, only because I like to get this out of the way and have it done, that way before you put your bow and your greenery on, I'm going to put a beaded hanger on here. And I do not do a full beaded hanger, but I'm trying to find what I want to do here. We're going to put a beaded hanger on. I usually do about and the sheet, so like 5 on each side, just to give it a little bit. I lost the thing inside. Hold on. I've got my little bead threader here. We're going to insert our into the loop, and then we're just going to bead our thread our beads on. 2, 3, 4, 5. And the reason why I like to do like a half bead like this is because if you do an entire beaded hanger, you always get that top where you want to hang it. It's like it just gets in the way. So doing this, you get the beads on the side, they poke up through it, you see them, but so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're perfect. Let me put the lid back on this. Put this over here. My glue tool is on. I scoot forward. I scoot through the chair. The chair is not moving. Oh my gosh. So we'll get this glued on. Now I do have these little pieces which we are going to use as extra support. And I know I cut too much, but that's okay. Alright, we're going to put a little bead of glue here. And I'm just going to simply lay the twine in there for a second or two. And then I'm going to move this closer a second. I'm just going to take my little, this is the hard felt. It still will bend once it gets a little warm, so please be careful. And then we're just going to line this up. And it will get hot, so mind your fingers. We need to get another glue stick out. I think I need to order some more of those. Alright. And that's just to reinforce it a little bit, because instead of just having that one little piece of twine, some people use staples. You know, it's up to you how you want to reinforce it so it just stays stronger. And I'm just gonna, I don't want a long hanger. I think that would probably be good. Glue on my finger. Yeah, so. And back down in the center. Hold it there for a second. And then we're going to put some glue on here. And simply put it down. I've had these little felt things, it just comes in a huge sheet, left over from when I was doing different projects. So if I ever, I mean, I do like these better than using like pieces of ribbon and such. It just makes it easier and it's thicker to use. But if I ever get more, because I've got blue, pink, you know, all different colors, it doesn't matter. But if I ever have to get more, I will probably just simply either get black or white or gray, you know, some neutral color, not the blues and all the pinks that I have. And I'm just going to cut these off. And then we have our little hanger on. Now I'm not going to hold this up by this right away, but because You can still pull it out. But there's our little hanger. Now we can put that to the side. Well, no, I'm going to do this. Make sure my glue tool stays on. We are going to get, I call these my little scissors, because we're going to chop off 2 of these on here. Which 2 do I want? Does it matter? I don't think it does. I think they're all the same. And let's chop this one off. Now I always find that these pieces here at the end, they just get in my way. By the time I put a bow on, there's no need for them. So I chop them off and I put them to the side. I always use them for other different projects. And we can put that back away. Twine out. So now this is the concept that I'm gonna go for. We're gonna put our little greenery up here. We are going to put our sign here, and then I'm going to make a bow. Now I am going to use, and I know it looks kind of plain Jane, but I'm going to use this anyway. This has some, it's just, because I was going for the look of the brown. It's got little butterflies and little daisies on it. I know it's not sunflowers, but I think it's going to be cute as it is. So, and besides, I didn't have very much sunflower ribbon. I have some checks, and I didn't care for that. I was like, you know what, it's flowers. It's okay, we're good. So we're going to use this to make a bow. And I lift that up because it's silicone and it's a little hard to do what I want to do with it. So I'm just going to cut. I don't ever, I just kind of eyeball it. And I cut 4 of these. I'm going to use the same. Sometimes I use 2 different ones. This one I'm just going to use the same. Cut 1 more. Put that to the side, and I am going to ducktail these, I don't know what's it called. We're going to do that to them. I like that look. You don't necessarily have to do that. There are other options you can use. I just like this one. Did it all 4 of them. And I know some people put them together. I'm telling you, I may waste time on some things. Some people put all of them together or 2 of them together and cut them. I don't. I feel like I mess them up all the time that way. I feel like they don't cut right. Probably because of the scissors I have. I don't know. I'm definitely not blaming anybody but myself, but you know what? It's okay. You do you. You do it your way. You want to put all 4 of them together and put them in some kind of cut machine, that's fine. You know, you do you. But I'm totally fine with keeping things easy and simple. I am going to add a piece of this raffia, which is aka my hula skirt. And I'm sure the Dollar Tree still has these out, so if you like raffia for the fall, this works better. I personally love raffia on a lot of projects. I don't care if this is summer. It's okay. But I don't like real raffia. I do like this stuff. I like it, but I don't like to work with it. So this stuff is so much easier to work with. Alright, so now we're just going to do our crisscross little applesauce bow. I'm just going to crisscross them. Gonna lay this right in the middle. And then I'm going to put my finger on it, and then I'm going to take my other fingers, and I'm just going to start scrunching this together. You could do this with a Bodabra, Oh, this is a little stiff. It may make it easier with a bow dabber, but I'm just going to scrunch, 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 scrunch until I get it all together into the center. It's just going to look like that. I'm going to take a piece of twine. You could use a zip tie if you wanted to. I always use twine just because I always have it handy and never think about zip ties. But a bow dabber does the same concept. You just kind of put them in there and you would have the twine in there already. Try to get into the center. Do one more time around, and then we're going to tie it in the back. Now some of this twine that I have is very, could be very weak in spots. So I kind of make it tight, but I don't want to go overboard because then I'll break it. Just enough to hold it. Double knot it, and then we're going to trim. And I am going to trim this raffia down a little bit, so I'm going to be over here at the trash can. If you don't see what I'm doing, that's just basically what I'm doing. It's just so I don't get it all over the floor. The other side. Show you our cute little bow. It just ends up like that. So simple, so easy, and yet so pretty. And then I'm gonna twine them together, but this is the look I'm going for. I think it's perfect. Can y'all see that? All right, so what I'm gonna do here, and I always do this just for two reasons. One, it holds it together. But two, it gives me something for the glue that I can push down and hold on to for the glue. So I'm just going to take another piece of twine. I'm going to hold my little pieces to where I want them. And then I'm just going to simply, I'm going to wrap, 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 wrap. And then I'm going to tie this. And put that in the trash can. So now I have something for the glue to hold down onto. So I will bring this down lower. And this will go right above it, and then we'll put a flower there. So I do like to bring my sign down as far as I can. So the first thing, that's why I always make everything first, because if I were to put this in the center and then put this, it's going to be hiding it. I like to bring it down as far as I can, not down to the bottom, but down as far as I can. Measure where I want. It's like, okay, that'll look good, that'll work. So we'll measure it right about there. I kind of like to put two items this way, just so I have an idea where I'm placing it back down at. Because when you put glue on something, you don't really have a lot of time. And I just put glob, 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 and then a little glob in the middle. And then make sure you get it the right direction. And kind of get it straightened up. and press down. Very simple. I just like to do the markers because, like I said, when you have glue, hot glue going on, sometimes that stuff dries quickly, so you want to make sure you get it down right then and there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little greenery on. Make sure it's staying flat. And we're going to put it right about there. And I'm going to hold that just like so until this dries. This is very hot glue, and it has a tendency to take a while to dry. So then if you pick it up, then it goes away. So I'm just going to press down and hold it. That's another reason why I said I like to have the twine there. It just gives the ability to have something for that glue to hold on to. I know, I use the Gorilla Glue sticks in my hot heat tool, whatever this thing's called. I really prefer that. If I use the other glue, I just don't get a good hold. And things tend to pop off. I don't have an issue with the Gorilla Glue. So if you're ever having issues with your glue and you feel like everything's always coming off, try the Gorilla Glue. I also have that in my Amazon store. So definitely check out my Amazon store. Like I said, if you don't use the link, if you don't buy anything in my store, but you still use my link, whatever you purchase, it gives me a little commission on. Is it buku bucks? Absolutely not. But is it a couple pennies here and there? And those do add up. Like I said, I always say it's like giving a, sending stars or something like that. So, get this on. Now this is a wired ribbon, so, it's always nice because we can always pull it out some, pull it in some, but I kind of like leaving it just like the way it is. But I'm just going to hold this down. So I feel it's dry. And then I'm going to we're going to put a little white flower on here. I could put a sunflower, but I think I'm going to go with the white flower. Maybe, possibly. Oh, see, that came up. I'm going to hold that down. I thought it was dry, see? Tell you, when it gets on your skin, it dries quickly. Alright, I think I'm just going to use one of these little flowers. I think that'll work. Just because they're in the bow, and we have all the, it's okay. So I'm just going to chop this off. I mean, you could put anything you want in the center, but I think that's going to be fine. I want to just move my bow up some. And like I said, because of the wire, you can maneuver it around a little bit. I'm just going to put a little pop of glue right there, and we're going to put our flower on. just going to straighten my bow up a little bit. Fluff it up. And count our beads out. And there we go. Now I have a new sign that I can replace my Easter one with. So, simple as that, just something very easy. You can take a beautiful rice paper, anything that you want, and simply just make it look, it just looks like it's painted on. It's just beautiful, it's nice and vibrant. Perfect. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight, and remember, if you are not subscribed but you want to see more videos like this, or you are not following and you want to see more videos like this, be sure to follow and subscribe and join my Facebook channel or my Telegram. That way you're notified when I upload any videos. So, till next time, thank you so much for being here, and always remember, thoughts become things and things become treasures. I'll see you in the next video.